And I can't wait. 1 to go when the field gets to the line. We are looking out over the infield and the Daytona International Airport in the background. Mike Bagley is on the backstretch, the super stretch, if you will, and he can look this way. And Mike Bagley, before we put him under the green flag, we keep talking about what we see. I want to know what you see from your vantage point as you look back at this huge grandstand, all standing, all waiting, all anticipating the green flag.
Well, we got the news earlier in the week, Jeff, that it was going to be a sellout crowd, and indeed it is. From my vantage point across Lake Lloyd, looking past these sea of motorhomes in the infield and just seeing every seat occupied in the stadium here at Daytona International Speedway. It is a breathtaking view, of course, punctuated by the tower with World Center of Racing on top of it. It's a breathtaking view, and all these fans that have gathered here are about to have their breaths taken away as soon as we drop the green flag here for the Great American Race.
Field has gotten right tucked up behind that 2020 Toyota Camry TRD pace car. The Whelen Engineering lights on that car are out. We're 1 lap away from going green. 40 cars strong, and by the way, the pole sitter Ricky Stenhouse Jr. has opted to start the race from the outside lane. That's his decision. He can start inside or outside. And there are cars that are dropping to the back of the field for the start of the race today, namely Denny Hamlin. He failed technical inspection multiple times today, so Hamlin, a defending Daytona 500 champ, will start at the back of the field. Christopher Bell, the rookie, making his debut in the Cup Series. He'll start at the back of the field for unapproved adjustments. Also, you have Brennan Poole had an engine change. Ryan Blaney's in a backup car from a crash. Corey LaJoy in a backup car from a crash. Ty Dillon's team changed a transmission. B.J. McLeod's team changed a gear. They're all going to go to the back of the field for the start of the Daytona 500.
We watch them down the super stretch. They look like they're crawling when in fact they are actually doing 70 miles an hour, but the lights off on the pace car. Green flag next time by. Let's remind you of at least the top 20 starters as we get ready to go. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Alex Bowman, row 1, row 2, Joey Logano and William Byron. Row 3 for the start, Eric Almirola and Jimmy Johnson. Row 4, Ryan Newman and Kyle Larson. Row 5, Brad Keselowski and Kevin Harvick.
Row number 6, we'll see Bubba Wallace and Cole Custer, the rest of the top 20 starters, Austin Dillon and Eric Jones. 15th and 16th, Martin Truex Jr. and Matt DiBenedetto. Christopher Bell, qualified 17th, again goes to the back. Kurt Busch beside him will go up to the 17th spot. Chris Buescher 18th, Ross Chastain 19th, and Tyler Reddick 20th.
And with that, we are ready to go. The 62nd running of the Great American Race. It is the Daytona 500. And for the start, from Goldsboro, North Carolina, here's Alex Hayden.
Anticlimactic. They're going to go around at least one more lap. They have put the caution back out right now. There is a slight sprinkle in the air right now. How about that for timing from Mother Nature? We were coming to the green flag. We've just got the signal 1 to go one more time, but a very light drizzle fell over part of the racetrack. NASCAR has spotters all the way around the speedway, Rusty. And boy, oh boy, you're a driver, you're cinched up, you're ready to go, and suddenly at the very last second, we don't go.
Oh, yeah, that's a tough deal on the driver. There is no doubt about that, but it looks to me like it was turn 1 and turn 2 where the clouds are hanging over right now, where it might have sprinkled just a little bit over there, 1 and 2, but that cloud is quickly moving away. But the drivers are one of the great ones that can really tell what condition the track is in. They saw some of the sprinkles on their windshield, probably reporting to the crew chiefs, maybe started getting a little angry about it. Hey, guys, it's raining down here. But I think we're in pretty good shape right now as the cars exit turn 2, right in front of you, Dave Moody.
I would beg to differ, Rusty. About the time you said we're in really good shape, it opened up. It's gone from a sprinkle to a full-scale rain shower here at the moment. I agree with you that this cloud isn't going to hang around for long, and it probably hasn't got much rain in it. But what it's got, it's delivering right now.
Well, this is Central Florida. If anybody spends a lot of time down here, and I certainly do spend a lot of time here in Central Florida, unfortunately, at some point or another, most days, there's a good chance of a stray shower, and unfortunately, that's what we've got right now. Again, the race cars are still on the track, but over in turns 1 and 2, as Dave Moody pointed out, a little bit of a shower falling there. Part of it's now making its way up the front side of the Daytona International Speedway as we speak, but it is very light, very minor. Get your official Daytona 500 champion gear at the NASCAR shop. The NASCAR shop is the official online store of NASCAR and your destination for all your favorite NASCAR licensed merchandise. Visit NASCAR.com/shop for all your gear today.
Unbelievable. It is absolutely unbelievable. And I think if we'd have known, if we were looking at the radar and we saw it, we would have told you. Woody Kane would have told you in the pre-race. This is absolutely popped up out of nowhere. And unfortunately, like Dave Moody just said, it has soaked the track over in turns 1 and 2. And NASCAR has said to the drivers, bring them on to pit road. We'll update you when we come back.
Next time those engines roar, don't just get pumped up. Get 5% cash back with MoneyLion. Our members get 5% cash back on up to $2,000 in annual purchases of tickets to a NASCAR race from authorized ticket sellers. You'll also get 5% off any at-track purchases and all purchases on NASCAR.com. Just use your MoneyLion debit card and it couldn't be easier. Join the world's most powerful financial membership, MoneyLion. Here we roar.
Hey guys, it's Dylan Welch. He's Tyler Burnett. We're the co-hosts of the Rip the Fence podcast. If you like non-wing sprint cars, midgets, Silver Crown, traditional non-wing dirt track racing, we've got the podcast for you.
Fly top from Chris Liddell up front.
Dirt racing is about going to the racetrack and enjoying it.
Non-wing open wheel racing's best podcast. Dylan and I chat with some of the biggest stars from past and present.
Chris Purnell, winner at Eldora. It's the Rip the Fence podcast, available on MRN.com and your favorite podcast app.
100 yards away from putting them under the green flag. Turns out to be rain delay coverage, unfortunately. We have brought the cars down. They are shutting them off. The teams are bringing out the tarps. Now, I have to paint this picture for you so that you don't just, like us, just go, oh my gosh, what next? We can easily see blue sky over the beach. All the hotels are glistening in the sun. Dave Moody, it was pouring there a moment ago, and now you're basking in sunshine.
It's a tad schizophrenic out here in turn 2, Jeff. There's no doubt about it. It rained pretty hard for about 2 to 2.5 minutes. Now the rain is completely gone. The sun is out, and that's the best part of the news because there's a good deal of heat in this track already. We did not lose the track. It did not rain hard enough for long enough to completely lose the racing surface, and this sunshine will help the drying process, so it could have been worse.
MRN's rain delay coverage is sponsored by the new Michelin Endurance XT silicone wiper blades. Again, Dave Moody just gave us the weather report. Sun's shining again here at the World Center of Racing. When you're traveling, remember, new Michelin Endurance XT silicone wiper blades are real-world proven for extreme weather performance, lasting 2 times longer than other blades. Only available at Walmart.
From Daytona International Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Where the fun never ends. Murphy's Bar and Grill. We food and atmosphere. Bring a crowd for a sandwich or a brew. We take pride in taking care of you.
It's still Murphy's Bar and Grill in Riverside. A great place to stop and eat on your way to or from the beautiful Riverside Casino and Golf Resort. Murphy's Bar and Grill has a nice, relaxed atmosphere where almost everybody knows your name. Plenty of spoons for your pleasures and a huge menu. Everything from incredible ahi to melt-in-your-mouth ribeye and all the lasagna. Mwah! Stop on out to Murphy's Bar and Grill for a great meal and a good time. Highway 22 in Riverside. Murphy.
Where the fun never ends. Murphy's Bar and Grill.
1630 KCJJ on all your devices through the TuneIn app. Powered by Planet Fitness at the Iowa City Marketplace.
The emotion was at a fever pitch just moments before the green flag was going to go in the air. NASCAR, with no choice, had to wave it off literally at the last second. The pace car had already come onto pit road. Ricky Stenhouse was approaching the Geico start zone, about ready to put the hammer down, and all of a sudden the lights came back on, and we went into a holding pattern. Rain delay, although I don't think it's raining, but I think we probably need to find out, Alex. Let's take a quick swing around the racetrack. Mike, Dave, and Kyle Ricky. Dave, over in turn 2, what's the latest?
Couldn't be nicer, Jeff. A lovely early spring day here at Daytona Beach. The sun, as I mentioned, is out. There's a bit of a breeze to help dry the racetrack, and it's really not in that bad a shape. Mike Bagley, what's the situation at the other end of the superstretch?
Rain has just ended here at the end of the back straightaway. It came down for about a good 5-6 minutes or so.
but it's moved out, but it has left a lot of water in its wake. Kyle, Ricky, what about you in 3 and 4?
Yeah, same thing here in 3 and 4. A little bit of both right now. The sun is out here in turn number 4. It is still sprinkling, albeit very lightly. However, like Mike just mentioned a moment ago, we had 3 or 4 minutes of pretty intense rain here in turn number 4. So it'll take a little bit to get this end of the Speedway Drive.
Well, that's one of the bad things about motorsports outdoors. When it rains, you can't race in it with the slick racing tires. Let's go to pit road. Winston Kelly.
Let's talk to Kevin Harvick. Kevin, you've had a fast car all week long. So how did you feel about it after those last 2 practices?
Yeah, I mean, I felt fine in practice. I think the most important thing is it raced good in the qualifiers. So our Busch Light Ford has been fast in both races. It's been fast in all the practices. Just got to keep it rolling somehow all day.
One of the things that we saw Sunday and Thursday that were different, there was a lot more aggressive blocking on Sunday. Of course, a lot less to lose. Do you think we're going to see that aggressive blocking early? Do you think guys will have the patience to wait?
I would say you'll probably see it early. There's a lot of enthusiasm, I guess you could say, with the anticipation of leading up to this race, which, rightfully so. So we just got to try to be in the right spot and try to keep our car rolling.
He was in the right spot in 2007. Hopes to do it again here 13 years later. That's Kevin Harvick.
And he will start 10th when we go back under the green flag. And trust me when we tell you, it is not as it stands right now, it is not a 2-hour delay. We will get back underway here in just a little bit. Back downstairs, you just heard from Kevin Harvick. How about if we hear from his teammate?
This is like that movie where you do the same thing over again, because Thursday night you went out on the racetrack, you came across pit, well, you got out of the race car, same thing. What is that do to you, Clint, as a driver? You get all geared up and here we stand talking to an MRN guy.
Well, I mean, how do you not get excited about that? Everything that went on and, pre-race ceremonies and everything else. But, I mean, that's Florida weather, man. You come down here because of that weather. It gives us a chance to put on this show. But every now and then you get these showers like this. It won't take but a second. Go up and have a beer, calm back down. Get on back down, situate in your chair, and we'll get after this thing.
Well, yeah, but you and I can't go have a beer, so that's not fair, is it?
Oh, I was telling them.
I know you were. I know we are.
Our people are here, right?
That's
Go
right.
over there and get your beer, come back down. It'll be on in a minute.
How do you feel about your race car?
I feel good. 500 miles is a lot to ask out of your equipment, everything. Communication, no mistakes, survival. It's so hard to do here. It's a lot to ask. We've seen it time and time again, mistakes in a clash, mistakes, in the 150s. Those are the ones that cost you. I called that race yesterday, Xfinity race. A lot of mistakes on pit road, saw that. Got to beware of that. Learn from those mistakes, put it to good use for yourself. And if you can do that, you just might be in contention at the end of this thing.
There we go, Clint Boyer. So you heard him. Those of you listening at home, go up to the refrigerator, grab another beer. Those of you listening here at the track, go grab another frosty one. We're going to chill out and we'll go racing here in just a little bit.
Can't wait to get that taking place. And with the binoculars, I look down and see our MRN blue shirt with Dylan Welch inside of it. And he's surrounded by a bunch of yellow uniforms, Dylan.
And that is the DeWalt yellow of Eric Jones, chatting with his Joe Gibbs Racing teammate Denny Hamlin. And Eric, of course, the winner of the Clash a week ago this Sunday with help from that guy right there, Denny Hamlin. So a unique situation last Sunday in the Clash, but it's always nice to come into this race on Sunday already having a win under your belt, I'm sure.
Yeah, it feels good. I mean, anytime you can win in Daytona is cool, and especially during speed week. So a little delay. I wish we could have got going there, but it looks like it's cleared up. And, we'll get it dried up here pretty quick. So feel confident about today. The Walt Camry's got good speed, and I think we got a good plan and what we got to do to get to the end. So hopefully they can make it there and have a shot.
We talk about this all the time at tracks where you get in the car, you get out because it rains or whatever. But when it's a race like this, is that feeling of frustration a little more heightened?
Yeah, I mean, I was ready to get going. You come around, we were about 5 seconds from taking the green flag. So you want to get rolling, and especially a day like today, you always want to get the 500 going. And I don't think I've ever been in a rain-delayed one yet. So hopefully this is a quick break and we can go and get it on with it.
Good luck later today. Thank you. That's Eric Jones, the driver of that Joe Gibbs Racing number 20 car, and he will roll off from the 14th spot once we do go back green.
Yeah, and again, if you missed it, he's already been to victory lane here once in Speed Weeks by picking up the Clash, a car that was completely all but destroyed, and he was given a boost by his teammate Denny Hamlin all the way to the start-finish line and the checkered flag. Let's hear from a NASCAR All-Star quarterback. Winston Kelly. Normally we see this driver when we get into a rain delay come out with a football and play catch with the fans. However, I don't think we have that kind of time as he stands next to you.
I guess that's the good news. Jeff Striegel just talking about you kind of flexing your arm when we have rain delays, Bubba Wallace. But he also said the good news is doesn't look like we're going to have that much time. We experienced this Thursday night. That was the bad news. The good news was that Camaro was pretty fast. What did you learn about your car Thursday?
It looked good. It may look good on TV, but we were completely sideways. So I sent a note to Truex. He was behind me seeing all the madness, and he was trying to steer clear. So I appreciate him giving me some room to work with. But we got our U.S. Air Force Chevrolet tightened up quite a bit from Thursday night. So I think we got a good piece to roll with. It's the Daytona 500. We're all excited, and it never fails. Just like Thursday night, as soon as we went green, rain came. So that's a good trend though, because we finished good on Thursday. So hopefully we can get a good finish like 2 years ago, maybe one spot better.
I cannot imagine how amped up you guys are. First race of the year. I mean, we're not 300 yards from getting the green flag. So what is the emotions? What is the feeling when you get the word, hold on, we're going another lap or more?
You get annoyed because you're ready to go. And I told Freddie, I was like, man, if we keep running pace laps, we're going to run right into the rain. And I was right. So, but no, it's part of it. You know, the biggest fan of NASCAR is Mother Nature. She's always almost at every race. So that's unfortunate, but part of it. And we'll just try to contain the excitement. For me, I think I had the highest of highs on Thursday morning when I jumped out of that plane. So this is just another race for me.
Tell everybody about that jumping out of the plane.
Yeah, it was a cool experience. Thanks to the Air Force for the partnership and being allowed to do really cool things, such as jumping out of a perfectly good C-17 aircraft, which was unreal. I mean, it's still kind of, you think about it now, you're still kind of shaking. Talking to all the drivers about it too. I didn't get scared until I took that last step out, so it was good. So I got to see the guys that I jumped with. They're actually here at the box, so it's good kind of reliving those moments. But at the end of the day, we got to stay focused on what the task at hand and what's important. That's getting the checkered flag for tonight.
So if anybody thought he was nuts for going 200 miles an hour, he proved it by jumping out of a perfectly good airplane. I don't get that, but Bubba Wallace set to roll off 11th. I think he'll have a good run today.
He mentioned Freddie told him in his ear not to go. That was Freddie Kraft, his spotter he was referring to. Rain delay coverage presented by Michelin Endurance XT silicone wiper blades continues on with Steve Post.
Chris Bush is going to roll off the fastball forward from the number 19 spot. And Chris, first speed week back with Roush Fenway Racing, getting acclimated to the new team and everything. How would you assess things have gone here as you get ready to roll off here in a little bit here for the 500?
Yeah, everything's going really good. Ready to get on track, get this race started. You go through the duel, you're trying to be a little conservative, make sure we have a race car for this one. So we really haven't gone out there on full kill yet. We're almost there, and that definitely got us for a little bit. So let's try and regroup, get ready to hit the track, and I think our fastball forwards had good speed, good drivability all weekend. So I'm ready to go.
So walk us through what just happened here. You said you were almost there. You're in the car. Did you see the raindrops? Did it just come over on the radio? What's the communication? How did you get the message so close to the green flag that, well, we're not going to get started?
Yeah, the windshield's a telltale sign. So without the wipers, we're not going anywhere. So it just steadily picked up, getting over into one the last 2 or 3 laps. So I'm glad we didn't go to green, but because by the time we got back down there, it was raining pretty good. So it's a good call. Just got to wait a little bit longer now.
Chris Buescher, back with Roush Fenway Racing, had a lot of success. Xfinity Series championships for this team. Really pumped up about it. As Luke Lambert is the crew chief, what a combination with him and Ryan Newman as his co-driver here. Look for big things out of him, and big stuff might even start to happen here this afternoon in the Great American Race.
Thank you, Steve. He mentioned he needed windshield wipers. He could probably pick up a pair of Michelin Endurance XT silicone wiper blades. They would have provided the perfect windshield wiper. It would not be necessary right now. In fact, I would imagine, Dylan, that the guy you're standing with, Mr. Kurt Busch, a former winner here, the Daytona 500 winner in 2017, I'm guessing he's probably got sunglasses on.
Well, you would be right, Jeff. He just put those on, in fact. Sir Kurt Busch sitting here on the wall. So you won this race before. What was that emotions and that feeling like when you did that several years ago?
It's an amazing feeling. All the teamwork and effort that goes into building the car in the off season, and you gotta have Lady Luck on your side to get it all pieced together. And my team did a great job making the right calls. I was trying to dodge all the wrecks that I could, and then to be in position at the end on a long fuel run, and that's when handling comes into play. And I'm like, all right, this is feeling like me. I like the long green flag runs here at Daytona because you get to slide and try to make sure you're staying off the wall and still keeping your speed up through the draft. But I'm all pumped up, ready to go. I know everybody here is, and then Mother Nature, she lets us know she's in charge.
We've seen a lot this speed weeks that the manufacturer alliance has been very strong. It always is strong here, but it seems like more so even this speed weeks. How do you balance sticking with your Chevy guys, but then at the end of the race, kind of being selfish and doing what you need to do to get the job done?
Yeah, we got to do a good job of helping win in numbers and trying to position all the Chevys we can. But ultimately, my job is to race the #1 Monster Energy Chevy for Chip Ganassi Racing. Kyle Larson's my teammate, and we got Ross Chastain. That's our core group, and then we go to work from there.
How do you feel about your race car?
Feeling good. Was ready to drop the hammer there, but Mother Nature said, hang on. So at Daytona, you always come here prepped and ready to go all into the morning, because if you are going into the morning, it means you won the race. So however long this takes, I want to try to get to victory lane again.
Best of luck today.
Thank you.
That's Kurt Busch, the driver of that Monster Energy Chevrolet. He'll roll off from 18th once we do go back racing here.
If you're just joining us here on the Motor Racing Network, we are unfortunately in a bit of a rain delay. And rain delay coverage presented by Michelin Endurance XT silicone wiper blades. Unfortunately, that's just part of it. Sometimes when you play outdoor sports with cars that go 200 miles an hour with slick Goodyear Eagle racing tires, the last thing in the world you want to do is hit a patch of wet spot out there and you go sliding up into the fence and have a big crash. You haven't missed a thing in the world. We have yet to take the green flag, but it shouldn't be too terribly much longer.
Finish Line. The preeminent free-to-play NASCAR game is now live and free to download on the Apple App Store or Google Play. Completely free to play. Finish Line asks 7 simple questions to help you make your picks for each week's race. Make 7 correct picks and win or share our $50,000 weekly jackpot. Don't get a perfect score? No worries. We are giving out $1,500 in guaranteed prizes to top finishers each week. Download the Finish Line app today on the Apple App Store or Google Play.
For more than 80 years, Detroit Diesel has been the legendary driving force powering Freightliner and Western Star trucks across North America. Through our state-of-the-art Detroit technologies and components and safety systems, we've earned our customers' trust as a reliable business partner dedicated to improving their bottom line. It's no wonder they continue to depend on Detroit to keep them safe and efficient on the road. When you demand it all, demand Detroit.
The brief rain shower has come and gone almost as quickly as we were able to mention that it was coming down over in turns 1 and 2. But the bad thing is it went from basically west to east and got most of the Daytona International Speedway with a little bit of moisture on top of the racing surface. So we're not too much further from getting the track dried and being able to get this race underway. From Daytona International Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Truck owners, Line X Auto Toys of Iowa City has what you need to protect your truck for work or play. Line X is the nation's leading provider of spray-on vent liners. At Line X Auto Toys of Iowa City, you'll find a full line of ARE truck toppers, Truxedo tonneau covers, and WeatherTech floor mats. Visit their showroom at 4165 Alyssa Court in Iowa City. They have a full line of Nerf bars, running boards, and mud flaps. Line X Auto Toys of Iowa City, family owned and operated.
Table to Table Food Rescue works with area grocery stores, restaurants, and food wholesalers to keep wholesome food from going to waste. We distribute that food to social service agencies who serve the hungry. Help us help our friends and neighbors in need by volunteering your time or making a monetary donation. Call Table to Table at 319-337-3400. That's 319-337-3400. Table to Table Food Rescue. It's the right thing to do.
Weekends go fast with NASCAR on 1630 KCJJ.
We welcome you back to the Motor Racing Network's live coverage. The 62nd annual Daytona 500, unfortunately under a slight rain delay as a passing shower came through. Can tell you, quite honestly, the racetrack is drying very quickly here in the Florida heat. It's a nice spring day here in Central Florida. Winston Kelly standing alongside our sport's most popular driver.
And that would be Chase Elliott. Chase, you seem to be a lot like your dad, kind of stay calm in the car. How amped up do you get coming to the first green flag of the year, and how hard is it to manage being so amped up and then having to come down for a little while?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You kind of, for whatever reason today, it just kind of felt like it was about to rain, and it started sprinkling there a couple laps before we got the green. So the riding was kind of on the wall, I guess. But I hate that. You know, you come here and you never want to get that close to starting the Daytona 500 and have to stop. So I hope everybody sticks around and we can get this thing in today or night at a reasonable time. That would be great. But nonetheless, still got a lot of great racing to go, and yeah, a little rain never hurt anybody.
101,000. I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon. But from your perspective, is it better for it to go ahead and rain, get it out of the way, and then just start the race from scratch rather than get part of the way into it?
I think so. I mean, I'd rather just run it all the way through, you know. And yeah, I think we're already going to finish under the lights, which I think is really cool. I think that's how racing should be. I like it when it's under the lights. So it'll definitely end under the lights, you know, from here to the end if it goes all the way. So I think that's a better atmosphere anyway.
How about your car through the week? How has it evolved, and how did you like it after Thursday through the last two practices?
Yeah, I didn't. You know, Thursday night I wasn't very happy with things, and I thought that our team did a really good job on Friday of making some gains. I didn't think we made really any more gains on Saturday than what we had Friday night in practice. So, but I'm happy with the little bit of improvement we made on Friday, and hopefully that's good enough to, you know, put ourselves in a good position. I think it'll be plenty good enough. It's just a matter of making it to the end and trying not to crash anymore down here.
And some other good news throughout the off season, and just a couple of weeks ago, Napa signed on for a bit of an extension.
Yeah, you have 2 more years extension with Napa, which has been great. They've been a great partner of mine, and Hendricks now for a number of years, partner of mine since 2014. So it's kind of hard to believe that we've been partners that long, but 2 more years after this year, so 3 more seasons with Napa, 26 races, a lot of races, and they, you know, do a lot of supporting and racing, not just in Cup, but all across IndyCar, sprint car, drag racing. So happy to be a part of their team, and hopefully we can contribute to their win column this year.
From K&N to Xfinity now to the NASCAR Cup Series, Napa going to sign on for another couple of years with Chase Elliott. He's like the rest of us, anxious to go racing.
Yeah, not surprised that Napa re-upped with Chase Elliott. Why wouldn't you? Like you said, Winston, the sport's most popular driver. And by the way, Alex Hayden, hearing from Mr. Chase Elliott reminds me how you skirted your who's going to win the Daytona 500 pick. Thank you very much. Because I, early last week, said I thought it would be Chase Elliott. By the way, track drawing operations well underway here. Again, if you're just joining us thinking, why are they talking to Chase? Is he out of the race? What happened? We never took the green flag. We got close. And then all of a sudden we got about a 3-minute downpour that soaked the racetrack. And so we are getting that dried up. By the way, the sun is out. It's warm. It's breezy. It's perfect. In fact, we have 20 Toyota track drying Titans out there. We have 12 jet dryers out there knocking the moisture off the track, and we'll be back under the green flag shortly. Let's hear from the driver of the Advent Health Chevrolet. His name is Ross Chastain.
Yeah, Ross Chastain down here, the Florida native. I'm not blaming you for this weather, but is this normal? What's going on with the Florida weather here, Ross?
Oh, this is absolutely normal. The only difference is at the watermelon farm, we could have went back to work already, and this big old 2.5-mile super speedway, we got to get her dried up.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your effort here with the Spire Motorsports car, getting the opportunity to run this race. How has your week been? How are things going as you guys have worked through this week?
It's been a dream come true, Postman. It's been absolutely incredible to work with everybody at Chip Ganassi Racing and Spire Motorsports to put this whole effort together. We started this process, you know, a year and a half ago, and it finally got to where we're making our first Cup start together as a group. And you know, we haven't had the best speed weeks, but it's been an absolute dream. I flash back, I know I say it every time, but down at just past the end of pit road, about 3/4 of the way up the old grandstands, which is probably halfway up of the new Daytona Rising, is where we sat all the 4th of July weekends with my family and friends. And I just flash back to that every time I'm here, and it just seems crazy. I'm standing down here driving one of these Cup cars, and obviously we want to just get out there and go do my job and try to make Chip and everybody at CGR and Spire proud. And Advent Health, there's a ton of people here being a Florida-based company as well, and we all fit together so well.
Last year in this race, a 10th place finish. What do you need to do? What are the things you need to do at the end of the first stage, throughout the second stage, to the end of the day, to get yourself in a spot to even better than what you did last year?
Yeah, to go finish 10th again, you need to be very conservative and keep all the fenders on your car, keep your motor cool all day, and don't push the limits, get up there with the pack. But we're here to finish definitely, but we can compete. We have all the tools, a Hendrick motor. I mean, it's incredible what this car will do, and we were very loose in the duel, but we've got it driving a lot better. So, it's a balance. And the last thing I talked to Chip today, and what he said was just the best plan. I think, like for all of our three teams to have, is the best plan is to be able to change your plan. So, I'm starting right behind my teammate Kurt Busch, which is absolutely incredible. That's my teammate. I'm saying, Kurt Busch is my teammate. So follow him at the start, see how it looks. He's going to do the same thing. And, if it's too crazy, I have no problem bailing. I know it's not the greatest thing to do, but go ride, keep our car intact, and be there at the end.
That's Ross Chastain, and this is a partnership, Spire Motorsports. They build the team in partnership with Chip Ganassi Racing, and Chip Ganassi uses the hashtag #ILikeWinners. He's got Ross Chastain there, and this partnership's been real interesting. A lot of ups and downs with some outside influences. They've had a lot of success together, and they're hoping for more here today in the great American race, the Daytona 500. Let's go on up pit road to Dylan Welch.
Posty, I found Tyler Reddick, who is sitting on the wall, set to make his second Daytona 500 start here this afternoon. So we're talking earlier, you got your baby down here, became a daddy this off season, and he's been up the last couple nights. Have you been on diaper duty here the last few nights?
Well, he's been a really good baby. Bo's done really good since we got down here. But 2 nights before last night, he was a little colicky and struggling to really relax and calm down for the night. So there were some long nights, but my girlfriend does a great job. We have a friend in town to help us. So last night I got relieved of duty and I went to go to bed and tried to get the best sleep I could before the biggest race of our year. And that's a hard task to do.
Getting ready to start your full rookie season in the Cup Series. You've run this race before, ran it last year. How big is that just from a comfort level to have one of these under your belt already as you get set to tackle the full season?
Yeah, it's huge. We had just about everything that you could have go wrong in a race and still run to the big one, and that's what happened. I mean, from getting wrecked the first green flag pit stop to then repairing it all race, and then getting it back to 100% and then getting wrecked in the big one, with about 12 laps to go or whatever it was. So it's a long, long race, and I realized that, especially with all that damage. So we're going to try and make it further into this race, and obviously if you can just make it to the end of this race, I think everyone think you got a really good shot, and we're going to try and do that in our Caterpillar Chevy.
A lot of excitement with you and Cole Custer and Christopher Bell, the kind of the big three in the Xfinity Series moving to Cup this year. What are your expectations? I mean, week to week, just what makes it a good weekend for you guys?
It's hard to say. I mean, we're going to set our expectations high. We're going to work hard, and we don't want to just run back there in 20th. We want to run really good. So me and Randall are going to do everything I can. The rest of our team are going to work really hard too, and we've been working hard since we got here to Daytona. We've made our car a lot better since the duels on Thursday. We made improvements Friday, and just going to see how it shakes out here in the beginning of this race and get really a better feel for it now that it's rained and it's kind of cooled it back down a little bit. So we'll see what the weather does.
He won Xfinity races here 2 years in a row, and he's always good on these super speedways. That's Tyler Reddick. Winston?
Let's talk to Timmy Hill. I was just asking him, have you had a better week in racing your way into the Daytona 500, third place finish yesterday in the Xfinity race? If you've had a better week in racing, I want to hear about it.
For me personally, no. This is probably my best week ever. We did some tremendous things this week, especially as an underdog team. To make it into the Daytona 500 through Thursday's duels was really special. I didn't think it was going to get much better than that, but we carried that momentum over to Saturday's Xfinity race. Our team did an extremely great effort, gave me a great driving race car that was fast all day long. We came away third on Saturday, and for me personally, it's been a really special week. Even though the rain's here, it's still okay. We're ready to get this race started and have another special day today.
Let's go back to Thursday. You and J.J. Yaley were having one whale of a battle. It was on the ISM vision screen, and we were watching it a lot. Take us through that battle before he got caught up in an accident.
It was a tight battle, more than I was wanting to. I was kind of wanting to get separated and get away, but no, all night long we were really battling hard with J.J. and even Brennan. It was a race that was a lot tougher than I was really anticipating, so hats off to those guys. They prepared a nice effort, And for us to come away on top, it was a great feeling for us, but definitely more of a tight battle than I was looking for.
How about yesterday afternoon? What was it that enabled you to dodge everything at the end? You were in the top 10 and had been in the top 15 all day to be able to come home third.
I really feel like these speedway races are no strategy races. Some guys pick the front, some guys pick the back. I just try to do the best I can, watch the guys around me. They look kind of squirrely. I kind of get away from those guys. And you do the best you can to avoid wrecks. We had a couple close calls yesterday where we got nicked up, but made it through for the most part unscathed. So happy about that. Happy we brought the car home clean. And with a clean race car there at the end, you always have a chance of doing something special. So third place is our outcome. We had a little shot at the win, but all in all, we're really happy with our effort.
Well, our pal Rusty Wallace calls some of these races opportunity races. Timmy Hill has made the most of his opportunities this week. Hopes to have another good run today here in the Daytona 500.
Everyone has a story, and boy, Timmy Hill's story has been phenomenal this Speed Weeks 2020. Rain delay coverage is continuing on, presented by Michelin Endurance XT Silicone Wiper Blades. We're going to have more from Pit Road in a moment, but first, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Motor Racing Network.
From the Hertina Stalker Studios in the heart of the Hawkeye Nation, this is the mighty 1630 KCJJ, Iowa City.
Motor Racing Network is live at the World Center of Racing, Daytona International Speedway. So glad you can join us today for the 62nd running of the Daytona 500. We were some 2, maybe 300 yards away.